With the release of 2.7 coming here soon, I've been getting a lot of people in my chat asking me about Yelan and how to build her. So I thought I'd make a quick video on my thoughts of the perfect kit for her. In my opinion, she is mostly a off-field DPS or sub-DPS, kind of like Xingqiu. She applies Hydro with her burst off-field and doing plenty of damage. Her burst is the main talent that I'm going to be leveling. I might level her skill, but her skill just seems like it'll be a pain in the ass, trying to run around the abyss, marking enemies with a string. But the main problem with her burst currently is her energy cost is 70. So she kinda has the same issue as Xingqiu. Xingqiu's burst costs 80, which is why we run Sacrificial Sword on Xingqiu, so he can always have his burst up for that Hydro off-field damage. So looking at this, for weapon-wise, energy recharge weapons are going to be great for her. So let's look at her best weapons. Her best 4-star weapon, and honestly it might be the second best weapon for her, is Favonius Warbow. At level 90, this bow gives 61.3 ER. Plus, on crit hits, you have a chance to make 6 energy particles, which is good for the whole team and her. You might be thinking though, isn't the base attack really low? Well, with how Yelan is, you don't really need attack on her because she's scaled with HP, just like Hu Tao. So you're not worried about that low base attack. And typically, the lower the base attack, the higher the second substat is, which is why Favonius Warbow's energy recharge is so high. Another good 4-star, not as good as Favonius Warbow, is the Sack Bow. The ER is a lot lower because the base attack is higher, but you have that chance to reset the skill cooldown and use their skill twice. But after seeing how her skill works, I don't think this is something that'll be time efficient with rotation. Favonius would be much better because it gives her plenty more ER and also helps the team get their burst back faster, which is more team damage. Her second best 5-star is going to be Elegy, with the substat being ER and the passive making your team damage stronger. I feel like this weapon and Favonius will be neck and neck, with Favonius having the slight edge over Elegy, but it won't be a lot to make a difference. Her best weapon is Aqua, and it's purely because of the passive, because she gets a 16% increase in HP, and when there's opponents nearby, the damage dealt by the wielder is increased by 20%, and this will take effect even when the character is off field. And it gives you a total of 88.2 crit damage when maxed out. Now, for artifacts, her best in slot is probably going to be Emblem, with the stats depending on what weapon you're using. If you're running Favonius, because there's so much energy recharge on Favonius, you will need a lot less substats and main stats that are ER. So if you're running Favonius and running Emblem, you can probably run an HP Sands just fine, with the substats you're looking for being crit rate, energy recharge, and HP. Now, if you're running Aqua, her signature weapon, you'll probably need to run energy recharge, with the substats you're looking for are HP, crit rate, and crit damage. The Noblesse set could also be another really good set for Yelan, just because it would offer you team damage and the 2-piece giving you burst damage. But most of the time, you're going to have someone like Benny running Noblesse instead. And because the 4-piece set does not stack, having 2 characters running Noblesse is pointless. So I still see where Emblem beats this. There are some people out there talking about using Heart of Depth and Tenacity, 2-piece, because of the Hydro damage bonus and the HP bonus. But you're lacking that 4-piece set bonus, and you're lacking ER with this. Even if you had Favonius, if you're not running Emblem, I would still think you'd be having issues getting your burst back running this set instead. So I would not recommend this. For goblets, I would not run an HP percent goblet. I would definitely run a Hydro damage goblet, with the substats being HP percent, crit damage, crit rate, and ER. For the headpiece, you want a crit rate or crit damage hat, with substats being HP percent, crit rate, ER, and flat HP. Now, there will be some cases where HP percent circlets will be better than crit rate and crit damage. So you might want to do some testing if you have a HP percent circlet that has a good crit value of crit rate and crit damage substats, because it might outperform your crit rate or crit damage headpiece. These are my quick thoughts on Yelan, and I really hope this video helps you once she comes out.